My father, my mother told me, because I really never met the man, was a Jamaican, very handsome. So he was a handsome Jamaican. And he had light skin and what they call good hair. Lord help us. Hair has now a moral quality attached to it. But she told me that my grandfather, his father, was Portuguese. So I said, Portuguese? Then as I matured, I saw that in the Inquisitions in Spain and Portugal, many members of the Jewish people who had mastered in Europe the sugarcane industry in Spain, they had become great, we call it entrepreneurs, financiers. But in order for them to continue to live, they either had to say, I'm a Christian to survive, or flee. And many fled Spain and Portugal and came to what is called the West Indies and South America, namely Brazil. Now, if you study the slave trade, I don't want to labor on that so much, but in the Babylonian Talmud, did you know it was a rabbi that said that black people are cursed, black, doomed to be hewers of wood and drawers of water, because we are the children of Ham, that son of Noah that disrespected him? When you look at how black people are treated, no matter where we go in the world, that poison that we are somehow an inferior people, doomed to be hewers of wood and drawers of water of Caucasian people. And they teach this to their children. So when you meet them, you meet somebody who approaches you with a superior attitude. And unfortunately, we have responded by bowing and acting in a servitude-like manner. But you know, as I studied the migration of the Portuguese, the Spanish, the Dutch, the French to the Caribbean, it was slavery that enriched Europe. And no matter what branch of Europe colonized or enslaved us, the British took away our African names and gave us English names, right? And most of us carry those names today. True? None of us spoke or speak today the language of our country and culture. We speak English because the English captured us and gave us not only their language, but their religion.
Yes, sir.
And they bred into us the hatred that they have for other members of the family of Europe that they were always fighting against. So the British and the French never got along too well. The British and the Spaniards never got along too well. And so here we are, we the British representatives. Is a Christian because the French made him that. You see?
Yes, sir.
So now the Spanish, oh, let's go to Puerto Rico or to Cuba.
Yes, yes.
When Spain conquered, they did the same thing to the African. Take away your name, take away your language, take away your culture, give you their language, give you their religion, and impose upon you their mind.
Yes, sir.
So here we are in the Caribbean. We are so divided, not just between British or English-speaking West Indians, French-speaking, Dutch-speaking, Spanish-speaking, French-speaking. No, no, no. We are worse than that. When I was a little boy, I heard a calypso song that was written by a Trinidadian, a calypsonian, long time ago. Small island, go back where you come from. Small island, go back where you come from. You come by the 1 and the 2 and the 3. Now I find you up inside me breadfruit tree. Small island, go back where you come from. Now look, he was talking about the Bajans. What am I saying, my dear family? We were not only divided by the languages and cultures of Europe, we began to be divided even by our islands. So Jamaica and Barbados and Trinidad and St. Lucia and Anguilla, all of the islands, they had some beef against somebody from another island. And in America, when West Indian people started coming, they couldn't hang out with their own islanders. They had to go to a church, and for the first time, people from all the islands learned each other, learned to live together, learned to work together, learned to plan together for the advancement of those from the West Indies. And it was in that environment that the languages of the Caribbean, the dialects of the Caribbean nurtured my life. So now when you look at the introduction of slavery in the West Indies, you find that the Europeans and also members of the Jewish people bought up all the land. So the land where we worked in the cane fields was owned by somebody else. So we were always the plantation workers, but rich white people were the plantation owners. And so they made the wealth from us, but we just barely survived. So now, the Caribbean gave to the world sugar, bananas, pineapple, rice, and coffee. And in Brazil, there was sugar, tobacco, cocoa, and cotton. And the whites were the masters of the production and marketing of all those things. And of course, the British, the French, the Dutch, the Portuguese, the Spanish, all controlled these territories at various times. But no matter which European nation controlled the land and the sea, it mainly was the Jewish merchants who controlled the profitable trade in the produce of the Caribbean and America. And so here we are today. This is 2011, the last few days of it. And look at our condition. Yesterday, one of my dear friends, Junior Lincoln, took me to Trenchtown. and I visited Boys Town because I fell in love with the Jamaican national anthem. Of all the anthems, the Jamaican national anthem is the most beautiful that I have ever heard anywhere in the world.